how to handle route context, and we discussed about child routes. What else we learned? So we learned how to design the child routes, lazy loading. We discussed suspense features, lazy loading of routes, search parameters, route parameters. These all we learned. So last session we discussed about search parameters and lazy routes. What else? So we call suspense with suspense with callback, a fallback. So I explained these points. Yeah. Now today we will see one more concept. So we will see another concept, that is route authentication. We'll see another concept, route authentication. I told you that inbuilt route authentication is not there. We don't have any authentication. Explicitly, we have to implement. What is route authentication? So it is the process of verifying user credentials. It is the process of verifying user credentials in order to give access to any specific route path. Actually, in web applications, you will come across with two topics: authorization, authentication. Authorization means it is restriction for accessing any resource. That means, for example, you are not authorized to access this file. That means you don't have permission to access that file. Okay, how I can access the file? You can access the file by providing proper authentication. Authentication means security, password, or biometric, or some security tokens. That means authorization means restricting access. We don't allow to access. Authentication means verifying the credentials of user. If he is having proper credentials, now give access. Restricting access is authorization. Verifying credentials to give access is called as what? Authentication. We have two differences. So authorization is the process of restricting access to specific resource. Authentication is the process of verifying credentials to give access. To give access. verifying credentials to give access, authorization, and authentication. So, authentication contains so many things. Authentication can be using authentication can be using user credentials like user ID, password, like this. We have like security token. Authentication can be using user ID, password, security token. So many will be there. So biometric verification, so many are present. So biometric is, fingerprint, right? That means eye, face recognition, fingerprint, all these comes under that category. So technically authentication is verifying the credentials and giving access. We will see how we can do. In late stage, we will implement some other techniques in project. I will show you. One famous regular authentication used in websites, suppose Gmail or YouTube. Everybody uses which authentication? They use a cookie authentication. Majority all use cookie authentication. 99% majority basic authentication is cookies. If you disable cookies in your browser, then Gmail, YouTube, Drive, you can't log in. Any website you cannot log in if the cookies are disabled in browser, because 99% majority people use cookies. Why? Because generally you have session storage, local storage, cookie storage, so many techniques. Session storage you learnt in JavaScript. Session storage is temporary storage. It will be deleted automatically when we close the browser. And it is accessible only within the tab, not accessible to other tabs. It is not accessible to other tabs. So session storage is temporary. Local storage is permanent. You know that cookie can have both behaviors. Cookie can be temporary or cookie can be permanent. Not only that, cookie can set with expiry date. That means after 4 days, you can make it expire. That is possible with the help of cookies. That's the reason majority of website maintain state management authentications using what? Cookies. So here I will show you a simple route authentication, how we handle by using cookies, right? Let's see. So this is route authentication using cookies. Now inbuilt, we don't have anything to manage cookies in React. In JavaScript, how you manage cookies? In JavaScript, to manage cookies, JavaScript provides document.cookies. It provides a document object through that you can manage cookies. In React, you need a special library for cookies. So what you have to do is, first point, install React cookie library. So which is a third party library, which is a third party library for handling cookies, which is a third party library for handling cookies with React. It is a third party library. So you have to install npm install React cookie and save. So React cookie library. After installing this, remember, in React itself, there are so many cookie libraries. This is better. In React, there are so many cookie libraries in that this is better. And it is not recommended by official React. You can use any library, right? For example, we learned Formic. Is it recommended by React to use Formic? No. It's best among others, so we use it. Because we know that another one is their hook form, that depends on requirement. So every cookie library is not same, but this is better. So in this, what we have to do is it provides use cookies hook to configure cookies. We have use cookies hook to configure cookies. So what we have to do, import use cookies from React cookie, and important, use cookies return three references. It returns three references. So one is getter to access cookie, setter to store data into cookie, and destructor to remove cookie. Getter, setter, and destructor. It returns three things: to get, to set, and to remove cookie. So syntactically, we define like this: constant cookie, set cookie, remove cookie, use cookies is an array. In that you can define a cookie name. So some cookie name, we can use any name. We can have multiple cookies. Cookies, set cookie, and remove cookie. Through cookies, you can access what it is going to do. So this is going to return. Set cookie and name value expires. Date time we have to set. That is set cookie. Cookie name, cookie value, and expire. Remove cookie and name. So expires is optional. If you don't give expires, cookie becomes temporary. Temporary cookie means it will be deleted automatically. If you mention expires, it will delete. Yes. So if you define expires, then automatically after the date it will be deleted. Otherwise, it is temporary. So a simple note is, so if expires is not defined, then if expires is not defined, then it removes cookie automatically when browser close. When browser closes. So that means it is temporary. We can have the cookie temporary. Actually, some libraries, they don't ask date time. They just ask directly how many days from today. You have to just enter days number, 4 days from today, 5 days from today, like that. So this is the process. Let's see how to use it. One more important, if you want to use cookies in your project, locating cookie in the memory, collecting the cookie from the memory and providing to your application, it is done by cookies provider. So one more important is a cookie provider. A cookie provider is required to locate the cookies in memory and inject into your application. Into your application. So we have to import cookies provider from React cookie. Here where we have to do this, it is in main.jsx. Cookies provider and component. Cookies provider. So your startup component must be inside the cookies provider. Then it can use cookies. So otherwise we cannot use these cookies. Let's see one small concept. First I will show syntax base. Then we will implement in a project in one example. So let's go to our project. Here we have a login. Let's run this. I think we need to run two. One is npm run API, because our data is coming from API, npm run dev. Okay. This is our content. So here what we are doing is, here username, password, and when login, I already told you that if password is good, matching, later we can verify if password is matching. Suppose we asked admin as password. If password is matching, then login, it will go to home. So what we want is, here we want to show who logged in. That means he did his credentials. That means, remember, if anybody directly tries to access slash home, as of now, it opens. I don't want it to open. I want it to ask login and come here. If anybody directly try to access any of our content, it should not access. So it should ask to login. So how to do this? Let's see. For that, first, when login is successful, we will go to login. Where is it? Yeah. In the login, we will check the password is correct. If password is correct, we will remember his name and we will use it in another component. We need to transport data. Okay. So what we will do, we will install npm install React cookie library and save. We are installing a cookie library. Okay. After that, what to do first? We have to import. So constant cookies, set cookie, and remove cookie. We have three references is equal to use cookies. Use cookies is a hook. Array cookie name is username. We can have multiple cookies. One for username, one for password. We can verify. So I will just give username cookie. Okay, what should happen? When password is matching, then we will use set cookie and the cookie name is username. Into that, we will put the username. Whatever username is entered, we will put it. How to put the username? User dot username. That is nothing but it will collect the username from form and it will use it. What is that user dot username? User is form data. Na? In the form data, we have two fields. One is username, another one password. That username is set and you can give here expires. Expires is expecting date and time. It is expecting date. You have to mention the date. How to mention date? New date. We need to give, year, month, day, right? If expires is not given, this is optional completely. If expires is not given, it is temporary cookie. Expires is not mandatory. Okay. Because I want to delete cookie with sign out also, I will not use expires as of now. We don't want permanent. Okay. Now, where it is navigating, after creating cookie, it is navigating to home. In home, we have to collect the cookie. How? Let's go to shopping home. How to collect the cookie? Again, you need a constant. What is it? Cookies, set cookie, remove cookie, and is equal to use cookies, and the cookie array, cookie name is what? Username. Okay, now here, if login is successful, at the top, I will just keep here a div, some class margin top 3, and here I will put a span, some font weight bold. So here I want to display who logged in, his name. How to collect that cookies of, what is the cookie name? Username. That is the name of the person who logged in. And I will put here dashboard. That's the message I'm giving. That means his dashboard. Okay. After that, I will put a button, class BTN, BTN link. And here I will give the word sign out. Okay. Deflex, flex, justify content between. That's fine. Padding 2, just roughly border 1, border and border 1. Okay. And you see that here we have this in the define. Okay. Here one more, wherever you are using cookies, as I told you, we need a cookie provider. In main.js, here we have to enclose this into, what is it? Cookies provider. Cookies provider, in that we need to put the shopping index. Make sure that cookies provider is imported and it is used inside it. Then only we can use cookies. Otherwise, we cannot use cookies. That is mandatory to mention. Observe now, right click, inspect. In the inspect, go to application category. In application category, you will find cookies. You will find cookies in that cookie name. And you can see currently cookie is empty. There is no cookie. And you enter name, some password is wrong. If password is wrong, it will show alert, invalid password. Okay, if password is correct, so admin login, then automatically it will create David dashboard. That means who logged in, his name will be shown. And observe, the cookie is created. Now, what is the key point in our application is, if cookie is deleted, because cookie can be deleted from history, browsing history we can delete, or here also they can right click and delete. When we delete the cookie and you see it is showing empty, it should not show empty. If cookie is not present, automatically it should navigate to login. It should not wait until we sign out. If I delete cookies in my history, it should automatically take us to login. Let's see how it can happen. So what we should do here is observe. What we should do, whenever anybody opens home, we need to verify is that username cookie present or not. If not present, then navigate. So see here, this home page we are using. We are having this home, shopping home. In the shopping home, we will see here, there is load categories. It should load the categories. Effect means what? At the time of mounting. It should load the categories. When cookies are present, it should load. If not present, it should automatically navigate. So here we will write a condition. If, what is it? If cookies of cookie name, what is it? Username. And observe carefully, this username cookies, this is username cookie, this is cookies. And see, if cookie is not there, it is returning with what? Undefined. Not every cookie same. Some cookies return null, means some cookie libraries return null if cookie is not present. But this library is returning undefined. And as a developer, you know how to verify undefined. So now if I write like this, what does it means? What does this if condition means? This if condition means that if cookies is defined, if username cookie is defined, if it is defined, load categories. If it is not defined, then navigate to login. It should navigate to login. How to navigate to login? You need dynamically navigation means LET navigate is equal to use navigate. And by using navigate method, I can navigate to which one? Login is path name. You have to navigate to the login. And you can see now here. I will refresh. I'll first open this one. This is there. Now observe carefully. I'm entering username. I'm entering some password and click on login. Then it says it is in the dashboard. Okay, I will right click and I will delete the cookie. When I delete the cookie, you can see it is deleted, but it is still in the same screen. Why? The reason you know. Component is not mounted again, right? Component should mount again, because when I refresh, it will take me to login. It will take me to the login. What is problem in login? There is no route by the name login. In the index, we need to keep the route by name login. So we have to write route. What is the route path? Route path is login. Which element it should get? Shopping login element. Shopping login element. It should render that element. We have to keep that path. Okay. Now observe carefully here. So I will go to one more point. In the home, we have to reload when there is a change in cookies. You can even tell which cookie, but I already told you dependencies. Dependencies. So specific cookie or all cookies. I will just put cookies. Okay. Now what should happen? I will enter and I will enter password and I say login. For example, password is wrong. It says invalid. Okay. See, I am trying to directly access home without login, and see what it will do. It will get me to login only. That means I cannot access home anymore. Without login, I cannot access home anymore. See, I'm accessing home directly, and it is not allowing. That means you have to log in. So, and you enter correct password, then only you can access that log. And see, now in the application, in the cookies, I will right click and I will delete cookie. When I delete cookie, it is going to log in again. That means automatically cookie deleted. That means that person signed out. Do you know that you don't need to sign out from all your websites by logging into that website every day? You can just go to your browser history. You can select clear history. There will be an option called delete cookies. You delete all the cookies. You will be signed out from all websites. All websites. That means if it is deleted, automatically it should navigate to which one? Login again. Now login. Or if you want to manually implement, that means what should happen? let's go on sign out click. We need to do the same. So what we have to do, we need another function. What is it? Handle sign out. And what this sign out should do, it should remove the cookie. How? Remove cookie, cookie name, username. After removing the cookie, it should navigate to which one? Slash login. And it should work when they click sign out. That means on click, we have to handle sign out. We need to handle sign out. Now you can see it is ready. Now what we are doing, we are entering the details, and we have password, and when say login, then it is going to login. And observe here we have a sign out. When I click sign out, it will delete the cookie. And remember here, this is browser. We refresh, the cookie is not there. That means the cookie is automatically deleted. So we can manage authentication. I just given for home. Same thing we have to continue everywhere. That means every route, you don't want anybody to access directly. Then in every route, what you do, when the component is loaded, verify. Verify whether cookie present or not. If cookie present, allow access. Not present, navigate. Navigate to which one? Login. Navigate to login. This is one technique we implement. And remember, later in different situation, different requirements, people use different methods. Like sometimes people use sessions, they use local storage, they can use JW tokens. JW tokens means server side. We will create security tokens. Those security tokens we will verify client side. When user sign in, we will give him a token. If the token is present, he is able to access everything. If token is deleted, then it will be removed. I will show that point also, how we can handle. But tokens we don't create in React. Tokens we verify. Tokens are created by backend technologies. They create the tokens. Our job is not creating token. Our job is verifying the token. And verifying token in React JS is simple. Anything verifying is simple. Creating is little complicated. We will see one example how we do that, right? But this is one concept of route authentication. And these are all mandatory things you need to know. All the mandatory things you need to know. So I will put here in the example, because I am updating the example into Git every day. I am not copying the code, right? What I am just giving the file names where we made the changes. What are the file names changed? One is main.jsx is changed. Another one is shopping login has changed. .jsx has changed. Shopping home .jsx changed. That means this example, you will find changes in these three files. Main.jsx, shopping logging.js, because in future it may change, because we need to keep on updating them. I will copy this code. This is just for your reference sake. Huh? Shopping login and shopping index also is there. Shopping home. I will copy that code. And one more is shopping index is also there. In index, we have to add, in index, we have to add login route. I given all the code here. That means all the files, whatever is present there, right? We define. Okay, next, important. So now we know a basic authentication. So what you are capable of, you are capable of providing restricted access to any path. That means everybody cannot access. Only registered people can access. And how to verify users in the database, that we will see in another example. As of now, we are just verifying password. If password is matching, it will go to dashboard. Okay. Next, important, after understanding route authentication, so you need to know another concept is browser router object. You need to know about browser router object. How the browser router object works. Browser router object. Browser router object is nothing but we can maintain the routes in a separate file. That is good for extensibility. That is good for maintainability, testability. In future, you want to add the routes, you want to modify the routes. Then if you keep the routes in a design, then it is difficult. As of now, if you see, our routes are along with design. Along with design means you see the index, you have a header, we have a section. Along with design, your routes are present. Then it becomes complicated. Later, if I have to change design, that means design is connected with route, it may affect. Routes are connected to design, they may affect. That's the reason it is in not every time. In some project requirements, we maintain routes in a separate file and we manage the routes from separate file. How we can maintain routes in a separate file? So what is browser router object? What is advantage is actually you can create and configure routes in a separate file. You can create and configure routes in a separate file. It enables easy reusability, extensibility, maintainability, and testability. So it can separate the design with logic. It can separate the design with logic. Separate the design with logic. So easily you can manage. How that is possible? Let's see. First, what we have to do is add a new folder into SRC by name routes. So add a new file into routes folder by name routes.jsx. So create a browser router object explicitly. Create a browser router object explicitly. How? Constant router is equal to create browser router. It is an array. So here the point is browser router is an array of routes, and every route is configured as object with following properties. Every route is configured as object. That means we have path, we have element, we have error element, we have children. Children is again array of routes like this. We have action. Action uses a function. We have loading. Loading uses suspense features. These are all important attributes of route. So we need to configure all the routes. Now remember, see, one blind basic thing generally people without knowledge they think about routes is because whenever we teach routes, all these are very common points, right? Um, some people come and ask, like, sir, in real time projects, they use only browser router in a separate file. Okay. Now, that's a silly concept. Why? Because if so, then why browser